Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are back on the dev server, and guess what? They updated it once again. So look forward to another video where we're going to go through all of the update changes, since there have been quite a few. But in this video, we're going to be having a look at the new winter event vehicle that is coming in, the main one, which is turning up for the British through the Australians. We have the CRV Block 2. This is a boxer with access to a turret, which is very similar to the Pumas, and also a few other additions, which is pretty nice. Now, just remember, we're on the dev server. These things aren't always finalized. There's normally little things which are a little bit off. Like, for example, they just added this thing, and it's not on the dev server, it's in the files, and they just completely reworked its armor. So everything that you see in this video, as always, just take it with a grain of salt. Things can change. And if you do enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe. Also like the video. Let's get into the vehicle. So what is this? Well, it's a boxer chassis with some additional protection and with a turret that is very similar to the Pumas, as you can see. The X-ray shows us a 30mm gun, specifically the MK30-2 ABM, and you have a 2-plane stabilizer on it. All of the standard ammo that you'll see for this, the first stage ammo being 348 pieces, then also it all being joined together. So I wonder if you hit one, will you just lose all of your ammunition? You probably will on this vehicle. One of the nice things about the Puma, which is in, the German tech tree, is even if you do get your turret knocked, getting it back up and back going again isn't too rough. But also, you may see something else that is different when it comes to the turret on this thing compared to the Puma. And it's the fact that the 2 crew members, which are in the turret, are a little bit higher up than they are usually on the Puma. The Puma guys are actually in a little kind of cubicle down here, whereas on this CRV Block 2, they're in the turret. And that means that it's going to be a lot easier to kill this thing compared to the Puma, because you can shoot it in the turret and it doesn't just take out electronics, it doesn't just take out, the gun and also the ammo, it will also nuke the vehicle. Even though there's this little piece of armor here, I don't think that's going to be enough to save these guys from dying, and anyway, if you penetrate this turret, you're probably going to hit them anyway. And if you don't, you'll take out the FCS, which means the vehicle won't be able to fire back. You'll take out all the ammo, so it won't be able to fire back, and then also the missiles are there too. The rest of the vehicle, you have a Rolls-Royce MTU 8V199T20. This gives you 637 horsepower, and then also a transmission, which means you can motor around the place, which is also highly modeled with the vehicle. You also have the power system, which is fully modeled as well. And if you take this out, the gun will not be able to be stabilized, so it'll be all over it. And at the same time, you have some ammo for another piece of the weaponry. So we talked about the 30mm, and we'll have a look at its ammo in a sec. You have a 50 cal on the top. You also have a 7.62mm MG3A1. So you have some German stuff, and you have some American stuff. And then also, you have another launcher. This is a Spike LR2 ATGM launcher, and on this vehicle, being at 10.7 at rank 7, you get access to 4 Spike LRs. So you get 2 in the bottom here, and then also you get 2 in the launcher ready to go. Now, it's kind of interesting when it comes to Spike stuff. Sorry, I made it move by itself. You can see the Spike missile right here on the side. What ends up happening with this missile is it's very much hit and miss. Sometimes it's able to just smash things, other times it's not able to do anything. And as a person who's spitting out a lot of these kind of light vehicles with access to this missile, sometimes it just feels great, and other times you just wonder what's going on. The Freccia and also the new 30mm squadron vehicle for Italy are some of the better versions of vehicles with the Spike, because they get access to the most of them. And vehicles which only have 4, such as this and then also others, don't feel as good, because it basically means you have 4 chances of getting a few kills. So hopefully, when it comes to this missile and others, we will see more on this vehicle. But being at 10.7, which by the way is a lot lower than a lot of the other vehicles with Fire and Forgets, a lot of the other vehicles are either 11.0 or they are 11.3, maybe it's going to be limited in that way. Now, when it comes to the armor, You have some rolled homogeneous on the side. This, by the way, is that active protection system that you find on the KF-41. So if you want to see what it looks like in War Thunder itself, it's already there. And the KF-41's active protection is not very good. You can see the major issue with it is the threat velocity. Most things that shoot you or, fire at you will be able to just go straight through this because it won't be able to stop it coming in. Another problem to also talk about is its vertical protected center. You can see it's only -10 to +25, so any missiles or anything that are coming down on the vehicle, they're not going to be able to stop them, which kind of sucks. You do have this active protection on the front here, which is interesting, but once again, I've just never really seen it do anything, which kind of sucks. So even though this is a conglomeration effort and it's used by the Australians, guess what nation it's going into? It's going into the British nation. And you know what Britain has? An insane 10.7 lineup, which also the Ajax is joining. You have the Challengers, you have, of course, the Vickers, and now you have some AAs, plus the CRV Block 2, and the Ajax, and the CAS stuff. So around that BR, which is dominated by premiums at 10.3 and 10.7, getting a lot of really cool stuff, to be honest, in this update that you can bring along. Now, this is still a boxer chassis. You only have very limited amounts of actual armor, but the main way to actually play this vehicle is, for you to be able to shoot first and try and get as much damage in as possible before the enemy is able to fire back. The survivability of this is not going to be its strong point. Its armor is not there. Its active protection is a nice addition, but it's not really going to do much. What you need to be is to be the one who fires first and to use the mobility to get to positions where you can scout effectively and at the same time use your spikes and use your gun. One of the things about the spike launcher is it does actually have a vertical, so it can go up a little bit. If I can just stop this vehicle so it stops moving on me. Here you go. So if you have a look at the spike launcher, it does have a vertical guidance of +20 and also -3. But one of the major things is it can actually just fire straight, which means that you can hit targets straight in front of you. If you have a look at the name of Trixon, for example, it has a angled up launcher, just like stuff like the EBRC Jaguar. And this is really annoying because it means that if anything is in a specific distance from you, you can't actually hit it. Whereas with this vehicle, it'll be able to, which is really nice. You also have access to the commander site up here, so you should be able to use that without having to show the rest of your turret, so you can use it for scouting and also use it for other parts too. And I think generally that, to me, is super important. You have a basic desert camouflage, a unicolor winter camouflage too, and maybe they'll add some more as it goes along. Modification-wise, this is an event vehicle at the moment, so it's not a premium. So you won't get the premium bonuses and you'll have to grind it out. Since it uses the 30mm, shouldn't be any surprise that it uses the PMC-287, which is the same one that the Puma uses. You also have access to the head ammunition, which is actually really nice on the vehicle. This is good against helicopters and also stuff which is very close to you. You also have an LWSLR, so you know when you're getting targeted, and also smoke grenades. 16 of them. Meaning that survivability is pretty high. And of course, being a 10.7 vehicle and incredibly modern, you have a bunch of thermals too. So it's 217,000 to research through this thing. It's going to be a bit of a pain to do that because of its size and also the fact that you're going to need that APF SDS to go through specific targets. Like, you can just see the literal size of this thing. Like, look at this. Isn't this just insane? Now, you can also see the gun isn't set up properly, so don't worry about that. And then also the smoke grenades are not set up properly either. So that's a thing. But they fire off in sets of 2, which is nice. So you get quite a few of them that you can throw off. And also the targeting speed of the turret itself is also very nice for the vehicle. Looking at the thermals, you can see that they are very good. Gen 3, and that means that hitting targets shouldn't be too hard. And the reverse, I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's okay. And then the commander site, unfortunately, I don't think is in yet. Oh, it is. There you go. They just have the different control in terms of the dev server. So you can also use that too. So for me personally, looking at this thing, is it a fun vehicle in terms of a winter event? I think it is. I don't think it's going to be overpowered or anything like that. It's just huge. And it has a lot less survivability than the Puma and also other vehicles that are around this BR, just because of its size and also the fact that the crew is in the turret and not in the base. And since you're super reliant on missiles, which a lot of the time are just not interested in actually working, it's one of those which is not going to be fantastic for the user to use all the time. So you're going to have to get used to using the 30mm, used to using it as a scout, and having a bit of fun with it. I think it's just a nice vehicle. I wish we got a premium instead, maybe a lower rank one, maybe like a post-World War II vehicle, but seeing more Australian representation or some more stuff for the British tech tree will always make me happy. And just as a last thing, does it have a target tracker? You bet it does. Because everybody keeps asking me about whether these vehicles have target trackers or not. 9 times out of 10, they definitely do. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.